Pistons start the fourth with a 9-point lead. And Planet Solutions Quick Stat showing you the three-point story in the third. First possession of the fourth, Joe Smith just did get some iron. Rebound to Keon Clark. Now Pack to George McLeod. There's the three that won't go through. They didn't miss any in the third. Ben Wallace on his outlet pass has it nearly swiped, and now it is picked off by Pack. McLeod from the corner. Another missed three. Ben Wallace with a rebound.
Not a good sequence there for the Nuggets. The Pistons scramble defensively.
As the Pistons rush it up, they'll still have 18 on the clock here. As we start the fourth in Denver, the Pistons lead the Nuggets 89-80. Barros and Mateen with Ben Wallace, Joe Smith, and Billy Owens on the floor to start the fourth for the Pistons. And Ryan Bowen is hit with a foul. His second, first team foul, either way in the fourth. Dan Issel not a happy man right now. Barros off the dribble against Pack. Poked away. Bowen way up to Pack. Lays it up, lays it in.
Good catch.
Dana the other way. He will fire and miss. McLeod board.
Not much rebounding underneath.
Clark trying to finish here is LaFrentz, and he's fouled. Pistons get him with Joe Smith's second. And we'll get a timeout taken here by the Pistons. It's a full timeout with 10:41 to go in the game. Pistons 89, Denver 82.
Intersect to form an information superhighway, but not everyone has access to an on-ramp.
Everybody ready?
Yeah. Tim Duncan and the Spurs know that technology is the fast lane to the future.
Let's get online.
So they've donated computers to schools in their communities that connect students to a whole new world.
Oh, what happened?
And this will help them to cross the bridge right over the digital divide. Team up to improve your community.
Saying hello to Mr. Scorch, our producer-director. Let's check the out-of-town scoreboard for Nike.com. The Celtics have beaten the Nets 99-86. Toronto nips the Pacers by 1.
In overtime.
Look at this. Charlotte 65, Miami 56. That's a final. And in the fourth, Philly up on Utah. Dallas beats Portland. Boy, is Dallas playing well. And San Antonio over Cleveland in the fourth. Big down in Texas. The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Nike.com.
You're right. Is that a final?
And it is. LaFrentz at the line. He had a big third, 12 in the third. Got them both.
56 points.
First you had that one game. But only one.
Yeah, no, it's not that's something that happens all the time.
Joe Smith with a back down on Clark. LaFrentz with a rebound.
A good position inside LaFrentz on Wallace.
McLeod with a show and go.
Watch
Took it
out.
hard to the
Look
hole,
out.
man.
Look out.
Bodies everywhere.
Don't like to see that, but I think he's okay.
Joe Smith with a foul.
Yeah, I was more worried about Keon Clark there as you get those legs taken out from under you. Watch as he falls down. Ooh, you can get hurt like that. Good to see everybody all right.
Bowen comes out. Van Exel returns. Got to clean up a wet spot here before McLeod shoots a pair. Jim and Karen Thomas from Grand Rapids are here. Just moved here and happy to see the Pistons come out. Give them a little taste of home. Antonio Mcdyess will replace Keon Clark here. McLeod only gets a split.
He split the last two times. He's been to the line and over 80% at the line on the year.
But it's now 5-point ball game. Stack on the floor and poked away. A foul on Robert Pack. 3 on Pack. Team fouls are 2-2, 10:04 to go in the game. Pistons 89, Denver 84. Pack will sit down. Vashawn Leonard's back. Pistons, as you can see, unbeaten when they shoot over 50%. Stack off the iron with that one. Rebound out of bounds. It's off Ben Wallace. Rafe LaFrenz, Van Exel, George McLeod, Antonio Mcdyess, and Vashawn Leonard on the floor for Denver. LaFrenz from deep in the corner.
Wow.
Triples.
He was like actually in the corner, which is actually put you behind the backboard. Heck of a shot there by the big man.
And it's only a 2-point Piston lead. 9.5 to go in the game. Stack gets to the lane. Gives to Joe Smith. Wide open. He hits it.
If you notice, they left the basketball. Van Exel, I believe, was on Joe Smith during the scramble, and then you're taught never leave the ball. They left Joe Smith, and he turns around and finds himself wide open.
That made him pay. Mcdyess against Ben Wallace. Big time power move. Antonio Mcdyess with 25. And a Van Exel foul is his 4th here as he bumps Mateen Cleaves.
Yeah, watch what happens here. They scramble defensively, and Joe Smith ends up with the basketball at the foul line. There's Nick Van Exel. Okay, who's got him? No one.
Pistons 91, the Nuggets 89. Stack driving on Leonard. Hook scoop long. LaFrenz to Van Exel and a bounce to Leonard. Double team on Vashawn Leonard.
Good close out there.
Van Exel spins to the lane. Little teardrop. And we are tied. 91 all, 8.5 to go in the game. First tie since it was 39-39 in the second. That's when the Pistons opened it up with that great bench play. Joe Smith, tough luck.
Rounding out.
Van Exel. Jacks it up and in.
Well, that's a timeout for George Irvin. The Pistons might be a little tired right now, George.
Yeah, they're on a back-to-back. They're in the Mile High City, and they can't slow the Nuggets down. Denver takes the lead. 8:06 to go in the game. Timeout on the Pistons. Tony Moore got it rejected, but Ben Wallace dished to Chucky Atkins, who tripled anyway after the Mcdyess block. There's Chucky. The Microsoft moment brought to you by Microsoft, leaders in delivering outstanding value to our customers and partners with a focus on solutions in the new digital economy. 18-2 run since the Pistons led 89-75 with just over 2 to play in the third. Just under 8 to go in the game, and Michael Curry with a huge hoop.
Well, good patience there as they tried to set something up for Stack. Didn't work out. The double team came down low to Joe Smith. The open man was Mike Curry.
Big high dribble from Van Exel against Dana Barros. Clock at 12. Turns back to the baseline. Nice knockaway by Dana. 10 on the clock for Denver. McLeod to Vashawn Leonard. Sets up LaFrenz. Down it goes.
Drive and dish. That's what basketball's all about.
LaFrenz has 20. He had 2 at the half. Dana Barros to the basket. Off the high glass. No, but it's tapped up and in by Joe Smith.
Boy, in a crowd, too. Didn't look like he could get a hand on it.
Mcdyess against Mike. He bumps him down. Open is Leonard for the long gun. He got it. Just on the line. He had a foot on the line. Nuggets 97, Pistons 95. Stack for 3. Rebound, McLeod.
You see those assist totals we talked about, George. Both teams doing a heck of a job, huh?
32 for the Nuggets. 29 for the Pistons. Leonard from the corner. Joe Smith took the rebound away from Rafe LaFrentz. 6 minutes and 26 to go. 97-95 Denver. Barrows gets the high screen from Joe Smith, gives it back. Now Stack works against McLeod. Mikey Moore screen. Pass across the paint. Nobody home but Leonard.
Really a tough pass to make along the baseline.
Leonard inside for Mcdyess, plays it in.
Good luck from Leonard that time in a crowd.
4-point Denver lead. We're halfway through the fourth. Pistons led by 14 with 2:09 to play in the third. And now 14 turnovers. That triple would have been sweet. Instead, here comes Denver. They feed Mcdyess. The baseline turning gun goes.
That's a tough shot.
Mcdyess with 29 after that nasty J.
George Irvin trying to rush his troops up the floor as quickly as possible.
Barrows got a high pick from Mikey Moore. Now Stack works against Rashawn Leonard. From the baseline. Off it comes to Mcdyess. They knock Mikey Moore down.
They got numbers here.
Denver with plenty of numbers. And Rashawn Leonard gets some spring music from deep.
Not too many times a three knocked down by LaFrentz that the Pistons get beat 4-on-2 back in transition.
Do you believe it? Denver leads 104-95 with 5:08 to go. This has been a wild one, and this is the Pistons Television Network. You in that 2010 club, 20 points on the average, and better than 10 boards with Kevin Garnett, Shaq, and Chris Webber. He has 7 boards in this ballgame tonight, but Denver scored 9 in a row.
Well, they've turned it up a notch.
Cut to the basket by Stack. He shoved.
A good set play out of the timeout. Get a cut to the basket. Stack gets fouled.
Rashawn Leonard fouled him. The Pistons led 89-75 late in the third. In the fourth, they have been cool, to say the least. 3 for 13. That stops the run at 9. Pulls the Pistons within 7. Plenty of time. 4:50 to go in the game. McLeod with Mike Curry up on him. To Mcdyess against Mikey. Mcdyess, double team help from Ben Wallace, and a push, says Danny Crawford, from Mikey Moore. That's his 4th.
Still about execution. And right now the Nuggets have been executing, and they've turned it up a notch as far as getting their break going a little bit in transition.
Well, this is a team that's had a lot of rest, and it's starting to show here in the fourth.
They have a little extra in the tank.
Van Exel moving on the baseline, lost the handle. The Pistons have to suck it up somehow.
Yeah, I think Chucky might have hit that from behind, out of bounds off the standard in the back of the basket.
4 on the clock, Kelly. That's all. Pistons could certainly use a stop. Van Exel forces. Friends with a follow-up block.
Wow. He just came out of nowhere. I was watching the basketball thinking that Nick might not even get the rim.
He has 20 in the second half, but Chucky Atkins answers with a big-time 3.
Yeah, that was big. Big-time basket for Chucky.
Hey, the lead's only 6. 4:05 left. McLeod against Mike Curry. They go to LaFrentz, coming to get it against Ben Wallace. Poked away, it's out of bounds. 7 on the shot clock.
Here's the LaFrentz putback a moment ago with the shot clock winding down. Van Exel takes a deep one just to get something off the iron, and here comes LaFrentz.
Great
uncontested.
timing.
Yep, and it's hard to do, too.
Van Exel with 3 on the clock. Mcdyess touches it to Leonard. Shot clock violation. He got no iron, folks. 3:45 left. Piston ball. They're down 106-100 in Denver.
Well, the defense made him rush it a little bit there. He had to get it up.
Good stop. Stack sets up Mike Curry all by himself. Out off the iron to Leonard.
Maybe sometimes you have too much time, huh?
Yeah, that was just a extra second to think. Mcdyess over Mikey. Rebound Stack. Chucky Atkins thought about the three. He'll take it inside, find Ben Wallace, who flips it up and fills it up.
Boy, in traffic, that was a heck of a pass by Chucky.
Nice catch and finish, too, and it's 106-102 Denver. Great game, 3 minutes left. Van Exel trying to screen and roll it with LaFrance.
They're trying to go inside. They'd like to get something going to the basket.
Van Exel baseline gunning, around and off. Pistons almost have tough luck on the rebound. Squirts away from everybody. Pistons trail by 4. Here they come. Ben Wallace inside after he set a mean screen. Couldn't quite finish.
Mcdyess got a piece of that one.
3 blocks for Mcdyess.
Blocks are tied at 7 apiece.
2:22 to go. 106-102 Denver. Pistons led by 14 late in the third. Nice knock away by Mikey Moore on the lob to Mcdyess. Here comes Chucky Atkins. Fake the shot, threw it inside. Michael Curry saying it went off McLeod.
You don't leave your
but
feet
David
there.
Jones is going to give the ball to Denver.
Tough pass by Chucky.
2:06 to go as we go to the break. Let's see if we can get a Pete Scorich replay and find out who the ball did go on. The proper call. 106-102 Denver on the Pistons Television Network. 8 o'clock. You get Sprite Holiday Classic tickets. Both games for only $10. You're on the clock right now. OU and Wright State, and then MSU and Bowling Green. Call right now for tickets. Denver basketball. Van Exel screen and rolls with LaFrance. Dishes to McLeod. Pass in the lane broken up by Ben Wallace. And the Pistons come up with it.
Mcdyess had it for a moment, and then it went off someone's back. Pistons get it.
Pistons down just 4 with 1:42 to go in the game. Stack works against McLeod. Chucky over Van Exel. Off the iron and out of bounds.
Might have been a little bit too long. He was a couple steps behind that three-point line.
He was deep. I want to get one more Piston name on here before we go to the finish line. Tony and Julie Purther out of Birmingham. Here to watch the Pistons play tonight.
Are they all skiing?
Where do they live here now? Here is Van Exel. In and out to Ben Wallace.
Boy, that was 3/4 of the way down.
And D. Cantner will get George McLeod for the foul.
Not a good foul by McLeod either. Stop the clock, and the Pistons will get an opportunity at the line. But it's going to be Ben Wallace who will shoot the free throws.
Remember what Stack said last night. He got him one late. He was fouled, made them both. Maybe it'll get him into somewhat of a groove. He does bend the knees, eyes the rim, sends it. Just a little short.
You got to be careful. A long rebound here.
He split the pair.
He shot that real high, didn't he?
106-103.
Some airtime there.
Nick Van Exel against Chucky Atkins. Mcdyess with the screen. LaFrance with a screen now. And McLeod feeds Mcdyess in the lane against Ben. The turn and gun. Short. Rebound Joe Smith. If he hadn't taken it down, Dana Barris will have. Pistons down only 3. Stack 4-3. It's through.
Wow.
We're tied at 106 with 40 seconds to go.
Big three.
A huge, huge hoop for Stack. And Denver wants timeout with 35.9 seconds left. Stack hits 30 for the 12th time this year. What a big-time basket. Timeout in Denver on the Pistons Television Network. Van Exel to the rim. Off the high glass, and he hit it.
That was a heck of a shot. He wanted to go to Leonard inside, George, and Leonard fell down.
Danny Crawford setting the clock at 20.8.
George Urban will take a 20 here, I believe.
Pistons take a 20-second timeout. 20.8 seconds left. There's Leonard falling down.
Almost as good as a screen when you look at it, but Nick Van Exel had to go high because Ben Wallace was in his face on the help defense. But Leonard was the guy they wanted to go to as he fell down. Nick Van Exel actually used him while he was on the floor, and that gave him a little bit of room. But nonetheless, watch this angle here.
Barros rushed over to help. Ben Wallace was there. You're right. He made him throw it up off the high glass. Pistons had scored 9 straight to tie. Now they trail by 2. Joe Smith, Chucky Atkins, Mikey Moore, and Dana Barros on the floor for the Pistons. We only have 21.1 to go. They have moved the clock up a little. Chucky Atkins coming to work. Stack against Posey. Drives him. Gets to the rim. Ball batted out of bounds with 10.2 left.
Well, Stack got a step on Posey, but a good defensive play there. Knocked it out from behind.
Dana Barros looks to the bench for a play call. Now he'll inbound over Leonard. Whips it to Joe Smith. Top side to Chucky. Drives inside Posey. Flips it up. Hangs on the iron. Won't fall. Tapped outside. And picked up by Van Exel.
Well, they had 2 pretty good looks at it, George. Couldn't get either one to go, and the loose ball gave them just enough time that they couldn't get it back.
Great game. Tough one to lose for George Irvin and the Pistons.
When you think about
so hard.
Yeah, when you think about how well they played, how well they shot the ball, just Denver had an outstanding 4th quarter, but this one has got to be hard to take because they played absolutely one of the best games I've seen them play. May have just gotten a little tired in the 4th.
They had that 9-0 run to tie. Denver got the Van Exel circus hoop, and then this was to try and retie. Chucky Atkins misses. Joe Smith trying to tap. Chucky goes to get it, but could not control it outside.
Yeah, another look here. He gets a pretty good look. They tip it out, but Chucky actually gets it back again. And everybody looking up at the clock. Do we have enough time? Do we have enough time?
And here's how it ended right here.
And George, you see right there, Chucky Atkins looking up at the clock, didn't watch the ball. He was worried what he needed to do, and in that instance, you lose the ball if you take your eye off it.
And the Pistons lose the ball game. A heartbreaker in Denver. The Nuggets 108, the Pistons 106. That's